How and when was Christianity introduced into Africa? Focus on the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The history of Christianity in Africa begins in the 4th century with the introduction of Christianity into the region in the year 330. One of sub-Saharan Africa's ancient Christian denominations, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, originated before European colonizers arrived. Ethiopia is the second oldest Christian country in the world after Armenia. Ethiopian Christianity dates back to the 4th century when King Ezana of Aksum converted to the faith of Christ. Oral history says that a Phoenician missionary named Frumentius arrived in Ethiopia with merchants. Upon his arrival in Ethiopia, he became a slave of Aksum's ruling family. One of his tasks was to instruct young prince Ezana. Upon his accession to the throne, Ezana declared Christianity Aksum's official religion as a result of Frumentius' teachings. Another reason is that the new ruler may have also wanted stronger ties with the Christianized Romans. Archaeological evidence from Ezana's era highlights the importance of Christianity in the Horn of Africa. Many Aksumite coins feature the cross, and scholars have unearthed church ruins from the late 4th century. Not only is the Ethiopian Church one of Christianity's oldest, but it is also part of a branch of the faith largely unknown outside of Africa and Asia. This Christian branch, called Oriental Orthodoxy, also encompasses the Armenian Apostolic Church, the Coptic Church of Egypt, and several others across Asia. The roots of Oriental Orthodoxy long predate the Great Conflict, which split the Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches apart in the year 1054. The Oriental Orthodox churches broke off communion from the rest of Christianity after the Council of Chalcedon in the year 451. This council was an extension of earlier debates in the city of Ephesus concerning the nature of Christ. 520 bishops from across the Christian world attended at the request of Byzantine Empire Marcian. After much debate, the council formulated the Chalcedonian Confession, declaring that Christ had two separate natures, divine and human. Church leaders hoped that their decision would undermine the claims of the heretical Nestorians. To the churches in Egypt and Ethiopia, however, they seemed to reinforce them. In contrast to the Council of Chalcedon, Coptic Egyptian and Ethiopian Christianity claimed Christ only had a single nature as the incarnation of God. Christ had a unitary nature that was simultaneously divine and human. Unsurprisingly, the Chalcedonian Confession deemed this position as heresy. From this point onward, the Oriental Orthodox churches would go their own way. They maintained communion with each other but had little contact with the rest of Christianity for the next 1,000 years. From the days of King Ezana, Ethiopian Christianity had an intimate connection with local ideas about rulership. This is especially true of the Solomonic dynasty from the year 1270 to 1974. As its name suggests, the family claimed direct descent from the biblical King Solomon. According to Ethiopian tradition, a southern ruler, the Queen of Sheba, had journeyed to Jerusalem to give gifts to Solomon. The two monarchs conceived a child together, Menelik I, who would become the first empire of Ethiopia. The Kebra Nagast, a crucial Ethiopian epic, recounts Menelik's genealogy in great detail. The document seems to have supported the new dynasty's claim to the throne. The epic states that Menelik brought the fabled Ark of the Covenant back to Ethiopia with him. This story has since served as a great source of pride for Ethiopian believers. Currently, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims the Ark is housed in the Church of the Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum. It was at this church that the Solomonic empires were crowned rulers of Ethiopia. Ethiopia's history as a Christian, Jewish, and Islamic center has led to several unique beliefs within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. In addition to other provisions, believers do not consume pork, and all animals must be slaughtered according to specific rituals. In this regard, Ethiopian Christianity more closely resembles Judaism than it does other Christian denominations. Social conduct also differs in many regards from other churches around the world. The Ethiopian men strongly practice circumcision as children, a practice that is universal to Jews and Muslims, but not to Christians. Orthodox women are not allowed to go to church during menstruation. Women and men also sit in different sections of some churches. Similarly to most schools of Sunni Islam, Ethiopian Orthodox customs command women to cover their hair during religious services. Both men and women take their shoes off during prayer. This is based on the example of the prophet Moses in the book of Exodus. The Ethiopian Orthodoxy does share its qualities with other Christian denominations. In this way, the Holy Trinity lies at the core of Orthodox belief. Ethiopian Christians also practice the giving of the Eucharist, although only those who ritually cleanse themselves beforehand can receive it. To conclude, religion should play a role in shaping human behavior and providing moral discernment in society, particularly in times of conflict. Religion plays various roles in society, including being a source for community development and social action, as well as anchoring traditional social orders and gender relations.